Agricultural water is water that is used, intended to, or likely to contact the harvestable portion of the crop. Some production practices in which the pre-harvest agricultural water is used include irrigation, foliar application of fertilizers or pesticides, cooling sprays, and dust abatement. For post-harvest settings, water may be used to transport, rinse, wash, or cool produce. It's important to ensure the water that is used is safe, as any water that touches produce has the potential to transfer microorganisms if the water is contaminated. So, how do you determine your water is safe for its intended use? There are a number of factors to take into account when determining if water is safe, including the water source, application timing, type of produce commodity, how the water is applied, adjacent land use, and other factors. Water testing is a tool that allows us to make decisions based on the results. Testing is typically done for a type of bacteria called generic Escherichia coli. Generic E. coli is a broad class of bacteria that indicates if the water is likely to be contaminated with feces. The more E. coli you find, the more likely there is feces in the water. For pre-harvest applications, the Produce Safety Rule uses water testing as a way to make informed decisions about the quality of the water. Other factors that were previously mentioned, like water source and application timing, should also be considered. For harvest and post-harvest applications, the FSMA Produce Safety Rule requires no detectable E. coli per 100 milliliters. When taking a water sample, the first step is to find a water testing lab. You must find a lab that conducts testing for the specific test you need. You can conduct an internet search or contact your local extension office or grower organization to help you identify a nearby water testing lab. Some of the factors you should consider when choosing a testing lab include: do they have a test that will quantify the amount of E. coli present in my water sample? For post-harvest water, a presence-absence test is sufficient. How much will testing cost? Prices can vary between testing labs and between different types of tests. Be sure to find a lab that meets the testing requirements of measuring quantity of microbes and is within your price range. What is the protocol I have to follow? The testing lab will provide a protocol or directions on how to take the water sample. You'll need to follow these directions carefully to make sure you have an appropriate sample to send in for testing. Make sure to find out and understand the details, such as what container should I use? After sampling, how soon should I get the water to the lab? Step 2 is to decide where to take the sample. You should collect a water sample that is representative of use. The water sample should reflect the water that is being used. It should be collected from a point in the distribution system that most closely represents the water that is being applied to the produce. Step 3 is to follow the lab's water sampling protocol. In order to make sure you have taken the water sample correctly, follow the directions provided from the testing lab. Some of the directions may include using a sterile bottle for collecting samples. It should be provided by the lab. You may ask for an extra bottle to have on hand in case the bottle becomes contaminated. Make sure you don't touch the inside of the bottle or lid. Bacteria from your hands can lead to a higher count in the sample. No rinsing of the bottle before sampling. Bacteria are sticky, and during the rinsing, you can actually make the count of E. coli you get higher. piped water from a distribution source should be flushed before collection to make sure you are sampling water from the source, not water that has been sitting in the pipes. How long you'll need to flush the system depends on how large your system is. Testing your water and following these steps will help you be one step closer to determining the safety of your pre-harvest water.